Imagine you're walking through a park one afternoon. You see an elderly man, slumped on a bench, motionless. He's barely breathing. People walk by indifferent. Would you stop? Would you help? This is the story of a young woman named Emma. She chose to stop, and that choice would change her entire life. His name is Richard Langston. Nobody knows that yet. To the world, he looks like a forgotten soul, frail, unshaven, alone. He doesn't speak. He barely moves. Just sits there every day as if waiting for something. But inside, a storm of pain and memory rages. Emma has been searching for a job for months. Rejected, ignored, overlooked. Every afternoon, she walks this park to clear her head before heading home. And every afternoon, she sees him. The same old man, same bench, same stillness. But today, something is different. She stops. Sir? No response. She gently shakes his shoulder. Nothing. Panic floods her. Somebody help. I think he's not breathing. People glance, then keep walking. Only one young woman kneels beside an old man no one noticed. The paramedics arrive. It's a near cardiac collapse, one of them says. Emma rides with him to the hospital. She doesn't know his name. She doesn't know his story. But in that moment, she knows something else. She couldn't let him die alone. He doesn't have ID, no insurance, no emergency contact, the nurse says. Emma's heart sinks. To admit him, we'll need a $1,000 deposit up front. She looks at her near-empty wallet, then makes a choice. She calls a friend, then another. She pawns her mother's necklace, takes out a payday loan, and pays the deposit. 3 days later, in the hushed calm of the hospital, Richard slowly opens his eyes. The room is blurry. His vision focuses on a gentle face, Emma, tired but smiling. Who are you? He whispers weakly. Emma smiles softly. I'm Emma, sir. You were unconscious in the park. I brought you here. A long pause. Then, tears quietly gather in Richard's eyes. You did all this for me? What? Her voice trembles. Because you were alone. I know what that feels like. Late at night, curiosity gets the better of her. Emma searches Richard Langston on Google. In seconds, the screen lights up. CEO of Langston Dynamics. Net worth, $310 million. A chill runs down her spine. This man she found nearly dying on a bench was one of the wealthiest CEOs in the country. Why was he there? Why didn't he call for help? Why hide who he was? The next morning, her phone rings. An unknown number. She hesitates, then answers. Emma, it's Richard. Would you have time to meet tomorrow? I'd like to invite you to my office. Emma's throat tightens. After a brief pause, she replies, yes, of course. Langston Dynamics, a glittering corporate tower that scrapes the sky. Inside, Emma feels like a misfit in her hoodie and jeans. But her eyes carry quiet courage. Richard greets her in a private conference room. You saved my life, Emma. Now I want to help you build yours. I want you to lead our community outreach program. Help us give back to the people who need it. Emma is stunned. I'm just a jobless girl, sir. Am I really qualified? Richard smiles. You showed more courage than most people ever do. That's leadership. It felt like a dream. A girl who once stood in job lines now had her own desk, her own team, her own role. But Emma didn't see this as luck. She saw it as purpose. But not everyone saw it the same way. Whispers started. She's just the old man's favorite. She didn't earn this. Emma felt the sting of every word. But she stayed focused. Let the work speak. Her first idea? The Winter Shelter Project. Warm food and blankets for those like Richard. Lost, cold, and forgotten. Richard nods. In your idea, I see my story. Within months, 10 shelters open across the city. News headlines. Emma's warmth. One woman's vision is changing lives. You've brought light into my life. I had given up on people. But you proved one good soul is enough. At the bottom, he wrote, you are like the daughter I lost. Emma learns the truth. Richard once had a wife and a daughter, both lost in a tragic car accident. Since then, he withdrew from life, from people. The park was his way to mourn in silence. Then another call, another hospital, another silent room. Richard had suffered a heart attack. Emma ran to his side and waited, just like he once did with her, silently, faithfully. Richard had left a portion of his company to Emma. 10% of Langston Dynamics belongs to Emma Carter, the lawyer read. The room was silent. Emma whispered, I didn't want anything. I just helped a stranger. Richard whispered, You didn't just get my company. You got my heart. My legacy. You're not the end of my story, Emma. You're the beginning of yours. 1 year later, Emma's foundation, Emma's light, is a city beacon. Every morning, she visits the same park. Once a place of sorrow, now a space of laughter, warmth, and second chances. Don't judge someone by how they look, their age, or what they wear. Sometimes, the loneliest person might be the one who changes your life the most. And sometimes, your smallest act of kindness might become someone else's last reason to hope.